Yeah, I've recorded. I wrote music. I wrote silly little music. It's such a long story. My father was a famous Nashville bass player.
Bob Moore, yeah.
Yeah, and he was one of the first architects of the Nashville sound, the A-Team session cats, and worked 20,000 million sessions for 3 decades. He played with Elvis Presley and Patsy Cline.
That's awesome.
And enough about your father, Stevie. And all of that stuff was happening. I was growing up in Madison, Tennessee here, which ironically is where I've ended up now.
Is that where you've always lived?
No, I did. There's a second gap in there. I left Nashville in '78 because it was too backwards and Allman Brothersy. And I was a punk rocker. I was a Beatles, Beach Boys, Frank Zappa, Jimi Hendrix, you name it, David Bowie. And this was not the place to be then. In the mid-'70s.
Right.
I was in bands. I was in Ramada in cover bands. And we were wearing makeup and doing ballroom blitz and getting fired and doing disco and all. I mean, that was that era. I finally got an opportunity to get the hella out of Nashville and went up to New Jersey, 10 miles from the Lincoln Tunnel, North New Jersey, and lo and behold, at that time, was happening was a thing called New Wave and punk rock and Talking Heads and the Ramones, and it was incredible. So I got up there just at the perfect time because I was the ultimate indie artist with a little tape recorder in his bedroom.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
It's incredible.
That's very awesome.
Yeah, so I've been doing that nonstop, and the struggle is real. So, but I do have a story.
Yes,
there's been several documentary films made of me. They're all on YouTube, and the most recent one was supposed to be a big blockbuster on Netflix. And then COVID happened, and I just happened to have an oldie that became real popular called I Like to Stay Home. And that should have brought the movie called Cool Daddy-O.
Right.
To the Sundance Music Festival and Hollywoodization. So that didn't really go well. That didn't happen much.
You guys start from your dad having recording equipment in y'all's basement when you were kids. Is what I've seen on the documentary and stuff. Is that true? And what
kind of yes. Yeah, kind of yes. I was a loner, high school student.
Right.
Never had a good relationship with my father and had no interest really. He was bringing home remarkable studio session tapes of these, now Hall of Fame classics.
Right.
And I didn't hate it. I like country music, not much, a little bit. I was a rock and roll kid.
How's the technology affected you? I mean, it's made you bigger than ever.
That's it. And it's also like I never have worried about Napster stealing my money or the percentages that I am due. And, I don't know. It's all about exposure. Who owes who what? Music is free I've always thought that way. Shooting myself in the foot. Also shooting myself in the foot is releasing so much material. Poor people have no idea where to begin. And I have many best ofs, and depends on what you want to hear. I do every style. That's one of my pride and joys is being diverse. I love noise. I love hillbilly bluegrass. I love Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
I like, this is ridiculous, Mahler symphonies, mishmash-ups, and the way DJs are turning music into, now we're getting artificial intelligence music, AI, karaoke in reverse or whatever. I mean, I like it all. I love hard cock rock, I like cheesy disco. Nirvana saved my life. Elvis Presley saved my life.
So those are your. Those, I mean, is there any like specific influences that you had?
So many, though.
So many,
And
yeah.
again, ranking them, I'm a very anti-ranking person because everybody relies on ranking. Little kids have favorites. And sure, you're going to have some preferences. But then ask me again tomorrow. Can I?
That's the way I am about things.
That's right. I don't have a favorite song. That doesn't compute, you know. I have an earworm that I just can't get out of my head all day, but then tomorrow there'll be something else. And again, every style, comedy, I love poetry and spoken word, and with my gorgeous voice of radio.
You definitely have that voice, man.
That's what I've been doing. I write a lot of poetry, whack poetry, list poetry, in other words, one-liners, and then write another one-liner.
Right.
Totally unrelated. When the page is full, you got a weird poem, and all of a sudden becomes profound. Listen to this.
Right.
Context is everything. That's my middle name. So that's part of it too. But I'm very experimental, all over the map, you know. And I don't need rule books, you know. I don't need signs put up saying, "Do not even go here. Don't even go there."
The ultimate artist. This the art that wants a blank canvas, and you can draw with whatever colors and paint with whatever colors you want.
Yeah, and you know, and I'm often called the supreme. He's so full of himself, you know, self-obsessed narcissism. I've gone through that my whole life. Yes, I'm a narcissist since I was like a week old. Hello, you know, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Man, I would call you more of a Picasso than anything.
Well, that's racist because he was Spanish.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I have German descent, and my mom is Italiano.
Okay, so you're German and Italian.
Best of both worlds. But back to what we were saying, as far as, I mean, it's across the board or nothing.